Welcome. I know there's nobody here in the room yet, so oh, she got a bit of a audio delay going. That should fix it there. Um, yeah, welcome. This is unannounced. I don't do live streams. I like editing my videos. I stutter, I'm awkward in real life, let alone being in front of a camera. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm testing equipment. I also wanted to pop in today because it's a rainy Sunday afternoon, late afternoon here. And I was really hoping to get up to the cabin today and do some work up there. There's a spring checklist, of course, being off grid and all the stuff you got to do for reopening things for the season and beekeeping. So this is going to be quite casual. We'll see how this goes. I might just cut it off after a few minutes. But largely, this is just a test for live streaming for myself. See if I can get over myself doing this and the technology. Excuse my voice too. I've got sort of spring pollen throat here today, and so I'm a little bit raspy. Hopefully my microphone is working, that I chose the right one. It should be this one right here. So excuse me, I'm gonna tap it. You guys hear me okay? Is the audio fine? Oh, hello from Wales. You're a long ways away. Nice to have you join me. Thank you. So yeah, just quick check. Can you let me know if this microphone is working or not? I've got this wireless, and I know it sounds crappy if I'm just using the other microphone. So little taps on the mic. Hopefully that's coming through okay. I'll just keep an eye on the comments there. A couple people here. I may get nervous here. I am a little bit nervous, so I'm going to try not to look at the at the chat box. But again, I'm going to keep things casual. I want to talk about the bees, just because that's something that I'm excited about. If you watched one of my last videos, you saw that I did have a couple of colonies survive. Generally, I have, well, not generally, it goes up and down, but I've had up to a dozen colonies and more. I only put 4 to bed last fall, so 50% survival rate, and I didn't have high expectations for those other 2 hives that were down by the creek. But I want to talk a little bit about that, a little bit about the stuff that is on my spring checklist for the cabin, and just also briefly about what type of content is coming up, what we've got in plan for the rest of the month. April's just flying by so far. And we don't, we still see snow on the ground. There's not a lot, but there is some there too. So that's sort of, delaying things a little bit. So I wish I had a better voice to do this today, but that's okay. Oh, thank you very much for the audio check, guys. Appreciate that. Okay, I actually, in preparation here, I brought some notes. I said it was going to be casual, but I also don't want this to be useless, right? I like to sort of give some information and be a little bit prepared. And I'm happy to, I'll check the comments every once in a while. If you got some questions, I'll happy to answer them as I can. I know I do a lot of tech gear testing, but full disclosure, I am not, I'm not a tech. I'm not a service tech. I'm just a pretty simple Joe who, likes to use equipment, and I like to push a button and things go on. That said, I have actually learned an awful lot, excuse me, about power stations, power systems, off-grid gear, batteries, generators over the last few years, and especially over the last few months as the channel has grown, and as I've had some opportunities to review some pretty cool products. But let's talk about bees, because that's sort of what's on my mind. I was really hoping to get to the cabin today to check the bees. Like I said, I've got 2 colonies, and the first thing in the spring is to check to see if they made it through. But there is a spring medication that we have to do here, and it's an antibiotic it's Oxytet, and it helps the bees. It boosts their immune system in both the spring and the fall for something that's called American foul brood. I'm in Canada, but it's AFB is what it's called. Excuse my coughing. And it's a really, really important treatment to do because this stuff is pretty nasty. I've never had it in my hives. I've been beekeeping for almost 20 years now, but there have been a number of beekeepers in our area who have gotten it, and it is a really terrible disease for the bees. In fact, once you have it in your yard, you can't get rid of it, at least in that colony. The only thing that you can do is completely dispose of your hive. And the way that you have to do it, and it's legally, this is what you have to do in Ontario here, is you actually have to burn your equipment. It's the only way to get rid of this stuff. If you just bury it, and what these are, it's a spore. It's like these viral spores that are inside the hives, and you can bury it and dig that stuff back up 50 years later, and those spores are ready to go, ready to infect your beehives. Back in the 50s, I believe it was, this stuff was really widespread and wiped out a lot of the colonies I believe it was along the East Coast in Canada and the States. Might have been on the West Coast as well. It's everywhere now, so it's something we have to keep on top of. So that's on my list. I'd like to do that early. So, it's a rainy day today. It wasn't great. You don't want to be working in the hives on a rainy day. Believe me, I've been there and I've got the stings to prove it. So I'll get up there this week. There's 3 treatments to do. It's over the course of 15 days, and it's just basically mixing this antibiotic into an icing sugar mix. The bees find it delicious, and once that's done, we can then put the honey supers on after about a 4-week wait. So we don't want to mix that. Don't want to get any of that medicine, of course, into our nice fresh honey that we're going to be harvesting. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to see that honey flow, that first honey flow mid-May, but it completely depends on the weather. So we'll see what happens. Next step with the bees, of course, is the getting them unwrapped and getting ready for splits, which I'll be doing. So that basically means we're going to be making new colonies out of our existing colonies. So won't get too deep into that. Maybe there's some beekeepers out there who will have some questions or not, because they're doing the same thing this time of year, thinking about it. So that's what's kind of on the bee list. Very exciting to have a couple colonies get through. Yeah, I just can't wait to get in there and start working with the bees. What else do we got to do here? Spring maintenance. Talking about tech gear, of course, I'm going to have to get the oil changed in the Honda, the generator. So many views in that video. Holy crap. It was a video that I posted 2 weeks ago now. I think it's over 90K views. So lots of people interested in generators. There's this little brand war thing happening in the comment section where, most people are agreeing, saying, yeah, the Honda is a great generator. It is. I am not loyal to a brand. So I'm not, I don't go around saying, Honda, just buy Honda. They're the only ones who make good products. No, my experience is with that particular generator, and I stand by it. It's one of the best, if not the best, careful with my words, generator that you can buy in that class. So, but really interesting to hear all the comments and see people, hear about the success and failures of people buying generators. Pretty common, I think, mistake or let's say learning exercise for people to buy a cheap generator. I did the same thing. I didn't have any money. When I first got that property, every penny I had went into buying that property. So I didn't have anything left over. So, a generator was important to me, but all I could buy was that cheap generator from Walmart. Like I mentioned in that video, it lasted for a few years. but that was it. I picked up the Champion, and that little Champion 2000 generator, nice little generator. It's so much less forgiving than the Honda. I've had the carburetor cleaned out in that at least twice. It might have been 3 times, but at least twice where I actually brought it in, paid somebody to do it for me. Then I had a buddy do it, I think at least once. I hate to admit this, but I'm not always, maintenance is important, and I talk about the importance of that. I don't always keep up on it 100%. Stuff comes up. I get busy with the bees. I get busy with other projects at the cabin, and I forget to change the oil in my generator. The Honda, I have never had to have the carb cleaned out. I've probably had it for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years now. It works flawlessly. The only thing I've had to do with it is change the starter cord, which I just did recently. I don't know if anybody else here has had to do that. I didn't actually attempt it myself. I watched a couple videos and decided that there was an awful lot of screws that I had to take out to take that generator apart to do the starter cord. I will do it next time, but I had plans for the weekend, and I thought there's no way I'm going to spend an afternoon doing this. So I did bring it in. I I actually paid the bucks. I think it was $170 or something to get it done. That's Canadian dollars, so that's about $6 American. But maybe next time I'll attempt that. But just a very good quality, reliable generator, and that's from firsthand experience. Anyways, I'm always happy to hear other people's experiences, and I certainly did in that video. Lots and lots of comments. I'm just going to flip back to my other screen here, see what's going on. I got a few people on. That's you know what? It's actually good that there's not a lot of people. It's just you and I. And yet, oh, look at this. That's pretty weird, eh? So there's something. Let's think about maybe changing the light that I have, the ring light in the background. And hopefully these, if I do some more live streams, maybe they'll be at the cabin. Although I don't have a hardwire connection up there. I'm really just using my cell phone service, so I'm not sure how good a stream it would be up there. I also, you know what, I'm not sure who all is on here, but or maybe people are going to be watching the replay of this. I wanted to give a big shout out to everybody who has been watching over the last few months, possibly over the last few years. I've had this channel for an awfully long time. I never really took it seriously in the sense of, I mean, I always took it seriously, but I really started putting some effort into this channel about 12 months ago. Really, not even 12 months, really from last fall. And I made a commitment at that time to myself to, and I don't think I made this publicly, but I really wanted to put out 1 video a week. And I've pretty much done that. There's really no lack of content. There's lots of stuff I like to talk about and share in my experience. But what I've learned over the last few months is that there's a lot of people who are, either doing something similar to me or who are, thinking about it, dreaming about it. And I'm happy to share my experience. I am a creator in the sense that I have always loved creating and entertaining, whether that be in video, in film. I've done short documentaries for many years. I work in television, not in front of the camera at all, but behind the camera, and as a musician, of course. And this has really given me an opportunity to share my experience, my off-grid experience, share my knowledge. My username is Clever Joe. I am certainly not clever in everything, but I do have some experience. I've got 20 years of living in the bush on weekends, and I'm happy to share that, and really happy to sort of hear your feedback and hear the response. The other thing that it really lets me do, and all of this may just be an excuse for this, I get to entertain. And sometimes I get a little bit silly, and but I like that. I'm not. I'm a pretty bad comedian, but I like sharing my you know what I do? I like adding stuff to my videos that makes me laugh. So if I'm editing and I think of something, it's like that would be the stupidest, silliest thing, and I throw it in and it makes myself laugh, then that's that's fine. So I know that I blow up the outhouse too often. But and some people like that, some people don't. If I get too many comments, people saying, "Okay, enough with the outhouse," maybe I'll cut that out. But really, the channel is something for me to channel my my quirky humor. I sneak in my music every once in a while, and once again, just happy to share my off-grid stuff. Hello from Denmark. Hi. Thanks for joining me. That's awesome to see you here. And once again, a nice little small circle. So we're actually, if anybody has any questions here, it's a good opportunity to ask. You can see I got the fire in the background. We're keeping things warm. I'm not going to keep this too long. What else did I want to chat about here? Let me just flip over to my notes and have a look. Oh, I wanted to just mention some of the things that are coming up online here. So I've got, this was actually one of the videos that I was hoping to shoot today, but with the pouring rain, it's not happening. I'm going to be reviewing some different solar panels this month, and it might actually, sort of spill into May a little bit. But at least 2 different sets of solar panels. I've often talked about my challenges of solar panels and the trees, the amount of trees and shading I have at the cabin. The only way that I can really get around that problem is by cutting trees down. And I know there's other people out there who have that same situation where, you're in a really, really forested, heavily treed area, and solar just isn't ideal for you. And I know people have suggested, it's like, geez, Joe, just, bite the bullet, cut down some trees and figure out your solar for real. I've mentioned this in lots of my videos. I've always really relied on my generator for topping up my batteries, and solar it's not an afterthought, but it's there to boost my power. But I don't depend on it. I'm not going to cut down my trees. It's just not something I want to do. So these panels, what sort of piques my interest with these is that they're shade tolerant. So that's what we're going to be talking about. But here's the thing: is I think there is some companies are worse than others at this, or better at it than others. But there is some marketing. When you see something that says shade tolerant solar panels, just be careful with that. And that's what I want to be sort of exploring with these panels. And the short answer, just to give away the plot here, is that they're not really that effective. Like in my area where I'm dealing with so much shade, they're not the magic solution for these. But I want to explore it. I really want to test it. We're probably looking at about a 20% better efficiency with these panels. The company is Zopower. You hear other people talking about them online, called Zoop W, because they have sort of a strange spelling. And then another set of panels that we're going to be looking at is from Renogy. So we'll see. This is the season to do it with rainy weather like this. We're certainly going to have cloudy weather, but I will drag these out to a sunnier spot in the property to give a real world test on these. And I'm looking forward to it. I can improve in solar. Lots of people have let me know that. Thank you in the comment section. And what else do we got? We may have a new power station coming later on in May or June. I'm not sure, personally, I don't want to just be reviewing more batteries and power stations. There's only so much you can talk about. I like reviewing new tech. So the Renogy Pro S1, which is a semi-solid state battery, I reviewed that recently. Very, very cool new tech. And we're actually I'm starting to see some other brands coming out with semi-solid state batteries. So if anybody has had your own experience with solid state, let me know, because I think that's the direction where batteries are going in the near future. So so new stuff coming up for sure, and excited to start sharing those. Just going to look at the comments here for a moment. So yeah, so welcome, guy. Oh, 16 people. 16. That's a nice, nice little group here. Spirited Traveler, welcome. Timothy. Stefan from Denmark. Patient Prepper. I like the name. Patient Prepper mentioning had to cut some trees last year. And the Rev Hallrourke. Thanks for your channel, your humor, wisdom. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I'm renovating an off-grid house in the Catskills Mountains off New York, and I find a lot of inspiration and support and wisdom and work. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And hi for Matt and Mouse. Hi, guys. Fellow Canucks there. It's funny, I was just actually watching the live stream from Matt and Mouse yesterday. I think you were live streaming. And so it actually gave me the... I was thinking, well, why don't I try this? I've done some live streams in the past, just really at my bee yard. I've done some music streams, of course, but this is the first time I'm doing it, and straight up, I was a little bit nervous. I still am, and I feel it's so strange just talking to a camera. I think Matt and Mouse, you guys had a great idea about, I've seen you on chats where you're talking with other off-gridders. That might be something for the future, because I feel like I'm just talking to this little green dot. So it's nice to actually see people popping up here. What else did I have here? Just give me a minute here, and just wanted to check to see. I've got a list, and this might be a little bit planny of me. Planny, is that a word? I bought a whiteboard because I'm trying to plan out my months of producing videos. I just circle back to the fact of why I'm doing this channel and what I hope to share with this channel is the turning point for me in creating my content was I really want to make helpful videos that are useful for people. And I do recognize that there's a lot of beginners, people sort of getting into this. I don't want to continue doing just the same circle of videos. I mean, there's videos that work well on YouTube that get a lot of views, but I don't want to be just making the same content. So I'm always happy for ideas for videos. There was a couple of viewers who are commenting about, I would like to see more building videos, projects. I'm not so great with a hammer. I've got a neighbor who helps me with projects like that, so maybe we'll invite him in. You've seen him on the channel a couple of times, Rescue Rick. So maybe we'll have him come in and do some construction videos, that type of thing. I do have some projects that I do actually want to work on this summer, but I don't want to promise them and mention them on the channel and then feel lame about not getting around to doing them. So I'll stick with the stuff that is coming up, and that's beekeeping. That's, in the immediate future, we're going to be cleaning the cabin out because, just spring cleaning in general. But I think it's just, I like minimalism. I always have a hard time saying that word, and keeping things simple. That's always been a theme on my channel And it's time to do a good spring cleaning of that cabin and sort of get back down to basics, figure out better spots for my fridge and just a better setup. So that's what I'm planning to do. Guys, I feel like I'm talking a little bit in circles. This was really just a test of the equipment, a test to make sure that mics were working, you guys could hear me, you guys could see me. Something I could do maybe every once in a while when I'm not at the cabin, when I'm on grid and I can't get up there. I see things are working here, which is awesome. Just gonna have a quick look at the comments here. Matt and Mouse, nervous. Yeah, well, I'm nervous when I'm not live. I'm nervous in real life. So if you have a conversation with, if you're ever wondering, well, who's the real Clever Joe? Who's the guy behind the camera? Well, you're seeing a little bit more of a peek of me right now. But I'm pretty much as I am in real life. I'm a bit of an awkward dude. I'm not. I think everybody's awkward. I think human beings are awkward in general. So I'm not afraid to admit that. But especially when I'm not edited and I can't go back and take out all of my uhs and stuttering and all the stuff that I'm sure I've been doing for the last few minutes, that sort of, it makes me nervous a little bit. So thanks for bearing with me here. Oh, eco-worthy question here. Patient Prepper. I installed 4 eco-worthy server rack batteries and inverter, 2.8K solar last summer. Good for you, up in Parry Sound, beautiful area of the country. I don't know much about server racks. I was actually offered one as a sponsorship, and I declined. I just said, look, that's a little bit out of my comfort zone, and maybe I should have taken it on so I could learn a bit about it, but very interesting. And I know you can pack a lot of power into server racks for sure. And, space saving. Oh, Loretta and Jason off grid. Hi guys. I really enjoy your videos. I do watch a number of off-grid critters, and you guys are one of them. I'm having a huge problem buffering. I've had video trying to upload since last night, 35% not going strong. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see what happens here. Minimalistic. Yes. the word that I can't say very well. Oh, and you don't see the Dr. Pepper. That's right. I'm just, you know what? I'm trying to cut down on my Dr. Pepper. Oh, nothing against Dr. Pepper. I love Dr. Pepper, and that's all I'm going to say, because who knows, maybe I'll still get a sponsorship from them one day. I've never reached out to them. I'm hoping they'll just find me organically. And so I haven't eliminated Dr. Pepper, but I've cut down on it. I've cut down on my Dr. Pepper intake. I only drink those mini cans, but I was drinking one a day, and I'm trying to keep them down to like 2 or 3 a week. I love my Dr. Pepper, but it's water today, and that's it. I still see some comments coming in. Really, I'm happy to share some time with especially a nice small group. I had 2 fears today. I had more than that, but my 2 fears around viewers were that nobody was going to join, nobody would watch, and 2, that too many people were going to watch, and I would see that, and it would freak me out. So I'm happy to have a small group here today, and this is sort of a good place to start with live streaming. We'll see if I'll leave this up or not. I'm not sure. I didn't, again, just a sort of a basic intro here, and a welcome to the channel, and sort of a peek behind the scenes, and a peek forward as to what's coming up on the channel. Hopefully I'm going to get up to the cabin this week. We'll deal with those bees, and then get that new solar kit from ZoPower tested, and share that with you on the channel here. I think that's it. Thanks so much for joining me. Hey, oh, there's another actual, keep trying to leave here and people are popping up. I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right. Nico? Um, I'm not sure, long-time viewer, but somebody who's really, just thank you for all your comments and being part of the channel. Really appreciate that. There's a few names here I'm recognizing, and yeah, just grateful to have you along the ride. Nico, I think that's it. You're gonna have to watch the replay if there is one. And assuming there weren't too many boos from the gallery, maybe I'll do this again. It wasn't so bad. 30 minutes. Dear Lord, I was planning to do 10 or 15 minutes, so apparently I can talk. Guys, thank you for joining me. Hopefully spring is coming to you wherever you are, and I'm hoping for some sun. We may not see any here. We may not see any here for a few days. I'm running out of words. My words are just sort of spilling in my mouth. Thanks, guys. Happy off-gridding. Happy to have you with me. Big cheers.